If you've ever felt like you didn't belong, maybe it's because you weren't meant to. You weren't born to blend in, or you wouldn't be here with me. You were born to break molds. And if you've spent your life feeling different, it's probably because you are gifted beyond belief, tuned into frequencies others can't hear. You'll be hearing another chapter how to tune into your own. The ones who don't fit in are the ones who came to lead the shift. But how do you know that? It often comes wrapped in pain. So let me tell you a true story. I was called to Alaska twice for a life and breakthrough transformation with a powerful woman named Sharon. The first trip was breathtaking. She filled the schedule with wonder, private plane rides, glacier hikes, hot springs, deep conversations, uncovering hidden patterns, and transforming her life because the truth set her free to choose another path. She and her husband Keith welcomed me into their home and hearts. But in the midst of the beauty and the trips we took, we were doing deep spiritual surgery. We recorded the sessions as we trekked all over Alaska. One day, on a 12-hour train ride from the North Pole to Anchorage, Sharon and I recorded hours of unraveling lifetimes of patterns while unlocking truths that had long been buried. It was extraordinary. I worked solely with her, but she had this ache in her heart for her husband to benefit from working with me as well. And her desire was met during the second trip to Alaska. Keith, her husband, kind and brilliant and very successful, but would be successful and then would lose, and would be successful and would lose, agreed to work with me for a single day. After hours of intuitive dialogue, energetic reading, and soul mapping, I asked for his permission at dinner to share what I had seen. I told him gently, "You're a savant, but not in the way the world labels it, but in the deepest, clearest sense of genius I have ever encountered. And Keith, you're the most grounded person on the spectrum I've ever met." I described how he counted things, included minutes, so he rarely needed to even look at a watch or the time. He saw the world in patterns, and how his mind moved through the dimensions most people couldn't perceive, how he had always known things without being told, how he lived in both the physical and the non-physical worlds simultaneously. He knew he didn't fit in. His spirit fluent in truths that didn't even have the words for it. There was no language to assign for it. So he was keeping it quiet within him. And here I was sitting at the table, telling him outright and giving him things nobody knew, including that he didn't need a watch. And I continued to share more with him that as a child, he had been misunderstood, that he had been placed on the short bus and told that he needed a helmet. He was treated as a problem to be managed instead of a miracle to be honored. But he was never broken. He was brilliant. I helped Sharon to see it too. I asked her to research savants overnight, not to diagnose him, but to better understand him, to recognize that what looked like difference was actually design. We explored what role he was going to play in their marriage, their abundance, their mission, and why there was an abundance and a lack of, because she wasn't stepping into her role and they were expecting him to fill certain roles and he wasn't supposed to. I explained how her abilities and gifts could not only support his, but also lead the family into even more success by taking on more leadership roles, and how together they were a part of a divine union built on spiritual symmetry. The next morning, Sharon emerged glowing. I'm in the kitchen. I'm making my own breakfast, in Alaska. And she said, you put together a puzzle I've never been able to solve, she said. Her eyes were soft, bright, and full of awe. She was seeing him, her husband, truly for the first time. She also confirmed the intuitive knowing that I shared that evening, that he had been put on the short bus and was forced to wear a helmet because he was misunderstood. And that me sharing that was healing for both of them. That he didn't really believe in what I did, but after that day, he can no longer deny it. And they laid in bed that night talking about how many truths, how many facts I gave that she didn't even know. And she understood him in ways that he never had, and her alongside him, and why they were attracted to each other many years ago. And that is what I do. It is why I wrote this book for you, because so many of us have been defined by what we're not. But I want you to remember who you are. Maybe you have felt like Keith, misunderstood, labeled, silenced. Maybe you've learned to dim your light to make others comfortable, to hide your brilliance just to belong. But hear me when I say this. You are not too much. You are magnificent. You are not broken. You are blessed. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a frequency. And the loneliness that you've carried isn't your identity. It's been your initiation. And everything you've endured, every level, every shut door, every time somebody told you that you were too much, is off. Before you go, maybe you felt like Keith, misunderstood, misdiagnosed, told you were too much or not enough. Maybe you've spent years sensing that there was more to you, more to why you feel so deeply, more to why your body reacts before your brain has words, more to why you've always known things you couldn't explain. And maybe, like so many of us, you've spent nights wide awake wondering, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just be normal? Why does it feel like I see the world through a different lens than everyone else? I'm alone. I'm tired of this. You see, this chapter isn't just about Keith. It's about you. The parts of you that have gone unseen. Not because they were unworthy, but because they were extraordinary. And people didn't know what to do with you. And in the next chapter, we're going to reveal what this journey is really unlocking for you. Because it's not just a video book. It's a return to your original design, a sacred mirror, and a map back to your genius.